God, so much has gone wrong since last time. The original presto walking test has been deleted somehow, I guess. I can't move the Godot editor. I stuck on one monitor, and if I have my mouse cursor, though. Now you can actually see when I'm talking. Editor put in the... So let's go over what I've been trying to do this time, what shenanigans I've been up to. I figured I'd try my hand at some kind of procedural walking. It was a... I don't think I'll actually add it to the game. I just, there's a game called Gecko Gods, a demo for it that I played recently at Next Fest, and it was really good. And it had the most adorable little procedurally animated gecko, and I thought I could try and replicate that. I learned things. Let's start with the fuck-ass nodes I have here. I did an entire previous attempt at this, put up the GIF I sent in the Discord. Let me explain how this one works. I have a character 2, it's only that so I can use the move and slide command. Camera 3D, obviously to look at it. Then instead of having an entirely different scene to take care of this, because I hate actually just using the GLB, because for some reason I can't access its node. Skeleton IK is new, apparently. I'll get into that when I explain how it actually works. Here's a shoulder front and back, meaning these are node 3Ds that will move along with the character, as opposed to these node 3Ds, which will not move along with the character. And then this mesh instance 3D to tell where I am, because I didn't want to have to make an entire new physics system. A new idea I just had. What if I showed you what happens first? This is the project, the camera is stuck to the character, and if I press A or D, it goes to the side, and well, it's supposed to be like walking. It keeps track of how much I've moved along. Let me actually just use this thing that I made for reference. It's not actually the node, it doesn't actually like stick its feet to the ground. There's no collision happening. I'll show you again later once I explain how it functions. All the code is right here. God, there are so many variables, and essentially every variable had to be doubled because I did it once for each leg. I actually don't need half of these. Some of these are actually remnants from the earlier version that used rotation. Let me explain how this one works. Skeleton IK, I can have a root and tip bone. These show which bones are going to move to a position. They're going to rotate themselves until they get as close to their target node as they can. And if I play IK, that leg will try and move to the back as best it can. The top one is obviously rotated exactly towards it. The bottom one moves, but doesn't rotate towards it. For some reason, it's actually connected to the rotation of the node itself. So actually originally, when I just placed the node 3D, this is it, if you can see, completely flipped upside down. I freaked out because when I placed it for the first time, it was all set to 0. And so this happened no matter what I did, and then I just, like, had an epiphany and rotated this downwards, and it was really nice. And so the IK skeleton can be played by saying start on ready, and so it will constantly try and meet. The bone will constantly try and make contact with its assigned node. So I just do that for both legs. I have a basic movement system that I still stole from the original tutorial from the first video because I tried to make it on my own and it was so weird. Either way, this is the most important thing when it comes to the animation. If the shoulder, which moves with the character, is too far away from the assigned node, so right here, the shoulder's right here, the leg's right here. The assigned node's right here, the shoulder's right here. If I move this, the shoulder is now that far away, or this far away X. So if it gets far enough away, I simply move the assigned node over to where the shoulder node is. I move it over here, and it looks like it stomps. It takes a step back down. And then that's how it works, constantly looking for if the assigned node is too far away from the shoulder node, and it does it for both. Both of the legs have their own copies. That's why there's like 2 of everything. The original version, I didn't know anything about the skeleton IK, so I simply said, however far apart they are from each other, the leg should rotate a certain amount. I found out how to refer to a specific bone and then change its rotation based on how far apart they were, but it still had the system of if if the shoulder got too far away from the sign node, it would go back down. I mean, yeah, there's not much to it. Yeah, the only reason it took so long is because I had to go through like 3 iterations of what even the hell I was doing, and I had to use at least 5 different models. I had to make the model specific, because if you try and use the IK and these are the same, i.e. the leg is one bone, it simply won't work. And technically, it like makes a default neutral bone. I don't know what that is, but it doesn't work either. So you have to actually add yourself multiple bones or else it won't work. Very important. And yeah, I'll sign off by showing it in action one more time. Look at her go.